This season is shaping up to be the greatest title run-in since arguably 2012, the Aguero last-minute winner, if not ever in the Premier League. Three teams going for it, three teams all finding form at different stages. Arsenal tonight have just devastated, demolished, absolutely disrespected Sheffield United at Bramall Lane to win 6-0 following a weekend where Manchester City took the honours in the Manchester derby, and Liverpool, in controversial sequence of events, come out with the 3 points with the late 98th minute winner, was it, Darwin Núñez, against Nottingham Forest. That the situation of which, the way that played out, has ramifications both at the top end and the bottom end. We're going to spend a few minutes talking about it. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe on Sean Butler TV. Welcome if you're new around here. Hit the like button on the video if you do enjoy the content, and make sure you drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's video. As I just said, Arsenal have just absolutely devastated Sheffield United. Look, if you're going to be a neutral that wants to be a little bit salty, you can sit there and dismiss the level of the performance, because the relative opposition, it is Sheffield United, arguably the worst team to have played in the Premier League in my lifetime. They just are absolutely shocking at home. I think three teams this season have scored more goals at Bramall Lane than Sheffield United. I think that's Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Brighton, if my memory serves me correctly. Quite incredible. They're just not up to scratch. The teams at the bottom that are coming up, they need to realise that just because a couple of teams at the top end of the table want to play free-flowing, expansive football, it doesn't mean everyone can. You need sometimes to adapt, to embrace the reality of the difficult scenario in which you might find yourself, and the quality gap, the levelling up of the teams that are at the top end, and have a different strategy, have a plan B. Sheffield United haven't tried to do it. Burnley haven't tried to do it. They're not good enough. They're going straight back down. Another team that might be going down, but might not. But you know what? The 1 point difference that came from this weekend, or the 3 points that were lost right at the death, is Nottingham Forest. Liverpool didn't play particularly well in that game. Nothing like the comparative value that was on display tonight from an incredible Arsenal team, a team thriving and flowing with absolute confidence. Liverpool absolutely decimated through injuries, struggled against Forest on Saturday, really didn't look their best, and it looked for all and sundry like it was going to finish 0-0, a well-earned point for a team that at the bottom end of the table is battling relegation, both in and of itself, and of course the consequences of what might happen with regards points deductions that are going to be decided this week in about 4 days' time, that will then likely be appealed, and the process of which, the outcome of which, Nottingham Forest and the other teams around them won't know about until 7 days after the season finishes. That whole thing stinks. Absolutely atrocious planning and procedural nonsense from the Premier League. But it is what it is. Darwin Núñez gets the late goal. All of the drama this weekend has been said around the referee. Is it corruption? How can it be fair? The game should be replayed. The natural reactions. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Nottingham Forest didn't get the rub. The referee made a mistake. He gave the ball to Liverpool when he should have given it back to Sheffield United, but nearly 2 minutes of football happened after that. Nottingham Forest have themselves to blame for not clearing the ball in the last seconds. Yes, the referee made a mistake. Yes, the referees, or the PGMOL, should apologise to Nottingham Forest, just like they did to Liverpool for the mistake that was made at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium earlier on this season. I'm not going to sit here and try and portray any notion of a conspiracy theory. If you want to go down that path, you can. I just think it was a bad decision, a bad call, and sometimes people make mistakes. You have to run with it. It is what it is. But if you're a Liverpool fan, and if you don't win the league, if you miss the league by 1 point or 2 points at the end of the season, the title goes somewhere else. I do not want to hear you reflecting and referencing the Tottenham Hotspur situation, the thing that happened at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You have been repaid. Your karma has been repaid 10 times over this season for what happened at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You've got the rub of the green for the last 5 months since that happened. And look, like I say, it is what it is. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. You didn't earlier on, you have done ever since, especially on Saturday. But I still don't think it was a massive problem. If you are a Liverpool fan, you're going to sit there and find the reason to justify it. If you're a Nottingham Forest fan, you're going to sit there and find the reason to feel hard done by. Ultimately, Nottingham Forest had enough chances during the game to take the points. They didn't quite get it done. Luis Diaz had a couple of chances for Liverpool as well. He didn't quite get it done. It was one of those games. It could have gone either way. It ended up going to Liverpool, and they stay bang in there in the title race at the top of the table. Manchester City hosted United, a game that you were expecting. Everyone was expecting City to absolutely demolish United. The form of United, the form of City, the two levels, the fact that it's the Manchester derby, the fact that players like Erling Haaland usually have a lot of success and a lot of good output in that game. But it didn't work out that way for the first half. Manchester United get the lead, an absolute thunderbolt strike from Marcus Rashford, and it looked like it could have been one of those days. For the first time in a while, you might not have been enjoying the process as a Manchester United fan, giving up possession, giving up territory, giving up pretty much everything to Manchester City, but you went in at half-time and everything was looking fairly rosy. And like I say, you might not have enjoyed the process, but at least there was some sort of plan on display. But then the second half, once the first goal went in for Manchester City, the inevitability about it kind of stunk to high heaven, if you ask me. And from then on, the decisions from the manager, from Erik ten Hag, were kind of unforgivable. United sitting and parking themselves on the edge of their own box, just giving up possession, not really hanging on for anything anymore, just trying to save face. It looked like it was an exercise that you were trying to not be embarrassed. And you didn't have to go that way. You didn't need to go that way. Manchester City were there for the taking at times. But in the end, City got the job done. Their dominance prevailed. They win 3-1. Liverpool win 1-0. Arsenal win 6-0 tonight. The most comfortable performance from a devastatingly aggressive attack. When Arsenal want to get going, they are, I hate to say it, absolutely terrifying. It's as you were at the top of the table. So much more football to play. These three teams, there's very little to pick between them. One of them's ravaged with injuries. One of them's form isn't that great, and the other one are coming to their very best version of themselves at the very perfect time. It's too close to call. I've been someone that for the majority of the season has said, I just don't think Arsenal have got, maybe that's me being saucy as a Tottenham fan. Maybe it's based on what I saw in the first half of the season, but come of the hour, come of the team. Is it time for Arsenal and the fans to start to believe that it's them that are going to be the ones that continue on this ferocious energy, this ferocious attempt at just taking teams apart, tearing teams apart? It's quite scary, the ease in which they are breaking down low block teams that I'm not sure you can argue that Liverpool and Manchester City are doing right now. Right behind that, guys, in the top four race. Obviously, we just spoke about Manchester United, woeful. Manchester United fans really disappointed with the output in the big one, their big derby. You can lose in one way and you can lose in another way. And the way that second half panned out for United fans was probably quite unacceptable. And there's no doubt, no reason, no wonder why we are seeing so many of the ex-pros of Manchester United coming out and calling out Erik ten Hag for his decision-making in that second half. Tottenham Hotspur managed to get the job done against Crystal Palace. 3-1 victors. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty. 70 minutes of frustrating football. Palace take the lead. A wonder free kick from Eze. But then after that, that was the catalyst for Tottenham to get into the game. And by the end of it, it kind of looked comfortable. 3-1 victory for Tottenham Hotspur. Brennan Johnson comes on and makes the game changer. Good substitutions from Big Ange. Timo Werner gets his debut goal. How meaningful is that going to be? A confident Timo Werner? Is that going to be a catalyst for Tottenham's top four race? We're going to find out. The three teams in the top four race, Villa, United and Tottenham, all of them are capable on their day, but all of them also are never really out of a game, nor never really cementing a game. There's vulnerabilities at both ends for all teams. It's going to be fascinating. Next up for Tottenham and for Villa is to play each other at Villa Park. Some will call it a major six-pointer. I think it's going to be fascinating. But before then, Aston Villa have to travel to Ajax, probably one of the most difficult fixtures they could have hoped to have avoided in the Conference League. So will they be distracted by that? Have they got bigger fish to fry? We will find out. Arsenal have to take Porto back to the Emirates to try and resolve their issues from the Champions League. So much more football to come. So much more to talk about on Sean Butler TV, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Who is your pick for the title? Who's your pick for 4th, 5th, and 6th? How does the European spots figure itself out? Let me know. Was Liverpool lucky? Were Manchester United as terrible as the United fans are making out? Are Arsenal the favourites given their current form? Let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye-bye.